Welcome to the True Grime Stories podcast, where in every episode, we'll unravel a new mystery of cleaning business transformation from a grimy mess to a great success. Join me, your host, Jeannie Henderson, as together we dig up cleaning business secrets that you've been dying to know. Hello and welcome to everyone out there in the house cleaning world. I'm your host, Jeannie Henderson, and I'm so glad you're here for this episode of True Grime Stories with my guest today, Camila Skiendziel. She is with Not Just Dust Cleaning Services in Memphis, Tennessee. She got started back in 2019 and has built a great business, but came here from Brazil and decided to start a cleaning business, even though she had a law degree and an MBA and a master's. It's a great story that she has to share about that. But she built her business from the ground up, and I'm sure many of you can relate to that. She started just with a mop and a bucket and a heart full of determination, as she said. And she has built a great team. She really has been recognized for her leadership, her customer service, and her involvement in her community, and as a great example of business success. So welcome, Camila. So glad to have you here today.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a joy to be here with you.
Yeah, it's going to be a great conversation. I just know it. When we get into your grime scene, I can't wait to start digging in. But before we do that, I would love to hear your story about how you got started, because you had a law degree coming here from Brazil. Were you practicing law when you were back in Brazil?
Yes, I was a professor of law for a long time. I wanted to become an attorney, but when I started to see what was it, I say I don't want that, because
Wow.
actually it was my father's dream. I wanted to study business because I come from a family of entrepreneurs. So
Okay. But
I was raised in this
your dad was
environment.
not a lawyer?
No, it was
Oh,
not. It's because at that time, I'm 45 years old. So when I was a teenager, you had to study medicine, law, dentistry. You have to have one engineering. You have to have one of those courses in Brazil. Because here in Brazil, it's if you don't have a degree, life is very hard. So
mm-hmm,
it's a must having a degree, right? So
mm-hmm.
he said, no, you can study law, and if you want to manage the business, you can do it later, right? But it was never my passion. My
Mm-hmm.
passion is business, is to serve people. And I was raised in this environment of customer service and dealing with clients, and I have always been very passionate about it. So
Mm-hmm.
when I moved to Memphis, actually, I was not practicing law anymore. I had another business in Brazil, which was a nutrition club that was very successful, but we left
Hmm.
everything behind because we wanted to take this opportunity to, people say we were crazy because we had, and yes, we were crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had very, well-established lives in Brazil. And my youngest was 2 months old, and Helena was 3 years old when we moved to the States. We
Wow.
started investing in real estate here. And we decided to change everything because we wanted to give our kids a better life, because Brazil was about to become, how can I say, a country that is dealing a lot with socialism, with this kind of what was going on with many
Mm-hmm.
countries, unfortunately. So my husband foreseen that, and he said, we need to do something. And that's what we
Mm-hmm.
did. We started investing in real estate here. Then we moved to Memphis. And I tried to be a stay-home mom, but I could not.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's a great job, but it's when you've been out in the workplace, it's hard to stay home with
it
your
is
kids full
hard.
time.
And I was always among people, and I missed, being with people and working. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I saw an opportunity in the cleaning business, because many people, especially immigrants, most of them, when they come to the United States, they don't come speaking the language. Many times they don't come having the permission to work. Sometimes they have to stay a little while to get the permission. It was
Right.
not my case. So I was very highly educated. I am right still, but
Yeah.
I mean, I had degrees, I had the language, I had the permission to work, and then
Right.
I started cleaning house, and people were like, "Well, what are you doing?" But I saw an opportunity to start a
Mm-hmm.
business with low investment, and I had the expertise of business because I had other business in Brazil.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what I saw. It's my story is different because many people they start because they are struggling. It's not that I
Mhm.
was not struggling. I guess we are always are at some point of our lives, but I
Right.
mean, I had other opportunities that people sometimes they do cleaning because they don't have these opportunities, but it was not
Right.
my case.
Right. You saw an opportunity though in the cleaning industry, right? You saw a need.
Yeah.
And it's when we fill a need like that, when there's so much opportunity. And the people who are able to do it with a high level of professionalism and great communication and all that kind of stuff are going to excel uh,
Yeah,
and be more successful. So it's a great place to be, with your background. So,
it
it's
is.
great to take other business experience and apply it to the cleaning business. I kind of did that too. I came from a
Yes.
completely different industry, but I was able to apply a lot of what I knew
Yeah.
from my previous life because I was in my 50s when I started this business. And yeah, so it's very helpful. So you started your cleaning business. And how was it in the beginning? Did were there any big surprises to you in the beginning?
Well, it was different. I'm very, how can I say, strong will. When I want something, I'm gonna do it. And my father came from a very humble life. So I was never, he always taught us to do our best, not because I am the owner that I don't have to wash the toilets of the restaurant, that I don't have to wash the dishes. So he always taught us to do everything. So
Mhm.
for me, cleaning houses, cleaning toilets, even with my background, it was not, I was not feeling less because of that. And many people sometimes they feel they have this mindset. But for me, it was hard. I'm not saying that it wasn't, but it was a challenge. It was something
Mhm.
new. And I was serving clients and I was happy doing that and being able to make money and still serve because I believe it's all about serving, right?
Mhm.
It's all about serving people at all times. So, and getting to know another culture, because I say, well, if I want to have a business, I need to go in there and clean houses and see how the American culture is, which is totally different from Brazil.
That's interesting. Yeah. So so what was and something that won't like get anybody upset, but what was something that you noticed that was different from the way people live in their homes in Brazil than how people live in their homes in the US?
Here in the US, we have many excellent cleaning products with amazing quality. We
Mhm.
do have them in Brazil, but they are very expensive. But it's
Mhm.
not the same technology. And
Mhm.
the houses, most of the houses, they are not. How can I say with the air? You know when everything is closed, like you have a central air conditioner. I don't
Right.
know how to say with
Mhm.
HVAC, those kind of things. We don't have that in Brazil. We
Mhm.
have little equipments of air conditioner. We have, of course,
Like
these
a
on big
window
companies.
unit. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have this in most of the houses. So we have windows wide open, fans, and those kind of
Mhm.
things. We only turn on the air conditioner, at night when you go to bed. So we have
Mhm.
lots of dust. And
Yeah,
uh,
that's a
and the
different kind of dust too.
the
That
yeah,
yeah.
and the type of
Mhm.
flooring as well. We always wash, we throw water on the floor. So the
Oh,
type of floor is different. So we are always throwing water and scrubbing. So
mhm. Yeah, that is
it's
different.
very
If you came
different.
into a
It's
house and
the
poured water on
cleaning.
the floor
Yeah.
in the US, they'd be
Cleaning
like,
there is
"What are you?"
harder. Yes, yes.
Yeah, that is interesting. Well, that's great. Thanks for sharing that. So you get started in the cleaning business. How long were you cleaning out there on your own before you started hiring?
Well, yes, I started with a friend, and then
Mhm.
6 months later, she said she needed to come back to Brazil. And then I hired my first helper. It was
Mhm.
right after 1 year, yeah, almost 2019. And at the beginning of 2020, we had COVID.
Mhm.
And I didn't lose any clients. I mean, not that I lost three clients, let's say.
Mhm.
And it was amazing to me. It was a way that God was showing me. So, see, yeah, I'm providing to you. I'm a Christian, by the way. I'm providing
Mhm.
to you through this. And that's what provided for our homes because my husband, we had the rents from the properties. And at the time, people stopped paying rents.
Right,
And
yeah. Oh my gosh, that had to be scary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
but
kind of,
cleaning was still an essential need for
it
people.
was an essential need, and for me, was life was normal. Many people say, "Oh, my business got impacted with COVID." Not for me, and I guess most of that it's because of the professionalism that I always
Mm.
had. So I, even being myself, I was always wearing scrubs. I was always
Mhm.
wearing gloves, masks, way before COVID. I'm
Mhm.
allergic to dust.
I'm allergic to
Can
dust
you
too.
can you
Isn't that funny?
imagine?
Like, here we are, professional cleaners, and we're allergic to dust.
Right?
But that makes us care about it more, right?
Of course.
Mhm.
And I guess because of that, clients stayed. They said, "No, we need Camila, so we're gonna stay." So
Well,
and
and I
then
do
after,
think
sorry,
I
go
do wanna
ahead.
say, and because I had a similar experience during COVID, we lost customers for a while because in my state, we had to shut down. It was
Uh-huh.
mandated, but,
Yeah.
um, I do believe because your level of professionalism and the good communication that you probably had with your clients and the great relationships, that's why they stayed with you. They
Yeah,
trusted you to keep them
I
safe,
agree.
through that. And a lot of people um, were so afraid that they didn't communicate. There's a lesson there because there will be another crisis. It won't be, it won't be COVID. It'll be
Always.
something else. But we have to be prepared for those situations. We don't need to give up in the face of it, but to figure out a way to get through it. And you did. So that's great.
Exactly. So I was cleaning by myself. And then after COVID, I hired one helper more. I guess I had two helpers. And then I hired my third, and then I fell. I had an accident. I slipped on a client's driveway, hit both of my wrists on the floor. And that's what took me out of the business.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I'm out of the field since 2021, let's
Wow.
say. Yes.
That's one way to stop cleaning.
Right?
It's a
God
little bit
said
different
no.
than
He
what we
said,
do through
Camila,
PDF.
yeah,
Yeah.
he said, I need you. You are, that's done for cleaning. Now I need you to grow the business. So that's what I started doing. But we can grow until a certain point because I did not have any experience in growing a cleaning business. So I was doing what everybody was doing. So when you start as a independent contractor, as I did, you look at your peers and you say, "Oh, this is what she's doing." So she works in doubles, she buys cars, and she has the teams, and that's what I
Mhm.
was doing. And the business was growing, but was growing chaotically, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I guess you know.
I do. I was very similar in that I had teams and cars, and it was very costly to grow that way. And I did have a lot of chaos. So this is, True Grime Stories. We're going to look for one of yours. So, what's one of those things that you ran into as you start now growing your business, something you've never done before? What's a grime scene that occurred that you had to figure out how to get out of?
Well, I think many people, especially immigrants, I'm going to speak to my immigrant people
There
because I know they're there.
there's a very large community in the cleaning
Yes,
industry,
many
yeah.
people, when we move to another country, we usually leaving everything behind. Only if you are being transferred from a company or something like that, and you
Mhm,
start a new life. So it's a new identity. And many
mhm,
people they go to the cleaning business because it's good money, low investment, and they grow with that feeling of like, okay, I'm getting money. This is a chaotic situation, but I'm going to keep it like that because I just want the money because I want this money to do another thing.
mhm.
And they cannot get off this rat race, if you know what I
Right.
mean. They
Oh,
can,
yeah.
and that's where I was. And I wanted the money to open another business, but I didn't have the systems, I didn't have the processes, and I had a fight with God. I was at a point that I guess many people will relate to this, that I was getting sick, I was getting overwhelmed and tired, getting lots of money, but at the lots of money until the point that I was there cleaning houses, but I was at a point of that I want to sell this business. And then my husband sell
Mm.
for me. He told me, Camila, even to sell a business, you need to have processes. Who is
Yes,
going to buy?
that is so true. You can't just sell the business has no value if it depends on you to run,
Exactly.
right?
And then I was discussing with God and I say, I don't want to do this. And he was always blessing the cleaning business. And then I had this other business that I wanted to invest. So at first, I didn't have the money. And then when I had the money, God just didn't open the doors. And at the time, my walk with God was already maybe, I don't know, maybe 4 years. And then
Mm-hmm.
I stopped because usually in the past, I was always doing everything on my shoulders by myself. And then I said, no, I'm going to stop and I'm going to pray and I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
see what I need to do with this money. And then it was very obvious for me. God revealed to me it was a lesson. So my business, it is a testimony. He said to me, Camila, it's not about blessing you. It's not about you having money. It's about you blessing your clients, your employees, and your community. So this business is not just about you. Now, this other business that you want, this is an idol. And it was. It
Oh.
was an idol. And he said, you need to let this go. So that's what I did. And then I said, okay, God, so I'm going to do this. So I invested the money in the cleaning business, but I needed a mentor. And then I made a
Mm-hmm.
prayer. And then I said, God, the student is ready, because there is a saying that say, when the student is ready, the mentor shows up. And then I
Right.
said, show me the
Yes.
mentor. And this story is great because I did now not 1 hour consulting with a Brazilian coach that she's very famous in the Brazilian world.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to her and she said, Camila, I think you need to know Debbie Sardone.
Oh.
She was the one. And she's so humble. She's a woman of God. And she is a
Mm-hmm.
woman of God. She's very faithful. And I thought this was so amazing because how
Yeah.
come a person that is kind of like being your, competitor will refer you? And she said that you are in a certain level of knowledge that I cannot help you. So I'm going to CBF Live. Would you like to go with me? And I was like,
Oh,
and she was going for the
wow.
first time. She was going for the first time. So my
That
first
is
CBF
so
live was
cool.
April 2022, and I was with her. And she's famous. Everybody was taking pictures of her, and I was like, okay, so I'm here. Of course, at the time she could not join CBF,
Uh-huh.
but she wanted, but she had to make a choice because she already had a coaching business. But
Right. Yeah.
she was the one who introduced me to Debbie
That
Sardone.
is
So
so that's a beautiful story. I mean,
it
it's just
is
she really cared enough for you to give you what you needed,
exactly.
even though it wouldn't, benefit her, but I'm sure it benefited her heart to do that.
Yes.
And yeah. So how wonderful. And so, you know, things probably really started changing for you then.
Yes, it did.
Um,
So, my answering your question, my story is that I was overwhelmed, I was getting sick, I was feeling guilty. But when I took this decision, I was humble enough, and this is like my advice to everyone. I was humble enough to recognize that I could not do things by myself anymore.
mhm.
Because I think at some point of our lives, we need to have some clarity about this. Okay, so why am I doing this? Where am I going? I'm here not just cleaning house. I'm up to that point. It's not only about the money anymore. And this is hard. I mean, and when I was at the CBF Live, I was kind of like, you know, and I love
I
studying,
remember that feeling too. It's kind of
right?
amazing when you like, wow, there's another way
Yes.
to do this that
And I
is going
was
to make my life
so
better. Mhm.
excited. And even at the end of the event, you don't remember, but I was so overwhelmed. I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know where to start. And you're saying, okay, call me.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
will help you.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, so CBF introduced me to what I didn't have, introduced me to the processes, to the systems, to a methodology. Because if you want to become a company, because many people they say, "Oh, I own a cleaning business." They don't. Actually, they if you go into the facts, they don't have a cleaning business, right?
Mhm.
So that's what I started doing. And that's what CBF gave me. It gave me the system, the methodology, the process. It gave me the community. It gave me the coaches and give me, all the support that I needed. Being, I guess, walking with people that are in the same path,
Mhm.
not only about the path of growing a business, but the path of changing ourselves. Because I
Right.
believe our business will grow up to the level we are personally.
Yeah, that is so true. I just got goosebumps on that because that was a huge realization for me as well, is that I had to continually invest in myself. And I run into people who are like, oh, you know, coaching programs are, too expensive. I'll
Yeah.
just figure it out on my own. And you get what you pay for. And if you're out there taking free information and using that to grow your business, eventually you're going to run into a wall because the
Yeah.
real the real
Yeah.
gold is behind the door that you have to make an investment in to go through. And yeah, so it is one of those big challenges. Well, this is a great place for us to just stop for a moment. We've been talking about cleaning business fundamentals, so I'd like to share a little bit more about cleaning business fundamentals, and we'll be right back. Is your cleaning business a grime story? There's no need to stay stuck in the muck because you're not alone. With over 500 active members and more than 500 graduates of our Cleaning Business Fundamentals program, CBF is the #1 cleaning business academy in the world and has created more mop-free millionaires than any program in the industry. Learn more and let CBF take your residential cleaning business from a grime story to a gleaming success. Well, we're back here with Camila Skiendziel, and we are talking about how she overcame overwhelm and the chaos and actually getting physically sick from just being overwhelmed and not being able to keep up with the growth in her business. So Camila, when you got to that point where here you were, one of the things that you just mentioned was that you realized that you had to be somebody else if
Mhm.
you wanted your business to be different. So kind of give me a before and after of that. What was something that you were doing in your life that was counterproductive for you that you found out I needed to change that, and how did you do that?
Well, I guess when we start a cleaning business, like doing what everybody's doing, we're just kind of doing like intuitively. Is that right? I'm still learning
Intuitively,
English.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but when you have systems and processes is different, because you have a beginning and you have a middle, you have an end. And but for you, um, and I'm so thankful because my this other business that I have, it was a nutrition coaching business, and
Mhm.
they invested so much in personal development. And I guess people sometimes they ask me, okay, how could you do it? How could you apply? Because I was able to apply in 1 year. In less than 1 year, I had already applied almost 100% of the CBF methodology.
That's a
And
lot.
people
A lot of implementation.
it is. And they asked me, how did you do it? And one of the things is because I guess I was mentally ready. So I had a preparation before. So lots of Jim Brown videos, John Maxwell's, and other type of big
Mhm,
coaches training. I had this opportunity. And since I always like studying, I was always into those courses and reading those
mhm.
books. And this made a difference. So if you have a good mindset, and you are humble enough just to recognize that, say, I am just the smallest in the room, which is a great opportunity,
It is,
and I
it
need
is.
to apply this because many people, when they receive a system or a methodology, they want to change. Oh no, I agree with this part, but with this other one I don't agree very much, so I'm gonna tweak a little
I
bit.
Yeah, oh, I did that in the beginning, yeah, completely, and I think it's human nature that we
Yeah.
kind of have to prove that, we know something
Yeah. Yeah,
that,
I think I
it's
agree.
like that, like, control freak inside of us that wants to be
Yes.
somewhat in control, but I think when you just have that maturity where you can just surrender to the system, right? Let the system run your business.
Exactly.
Don't try
And
to hold so tightly onto it being your idea, you know?
and acknowledge not only the business but your mentor. She's been 30 years doing that, and plus she invested a
Mhm.
lot. It was not something that she woke up and she was like, oh, I'm gonna do this now.
Right.
So, and you have to, so that's what I did. I didn't question because I had learned this in the other business. I don't want to
Mhm.
question. I just want to do. So I guess that helped me a lot. And of course, I was growing with it. because when you are ready to learn and to apply, and I'm not saying that it's easy, but I'm saying that I was at a moment in my life that I was very honest with myself, and I say, I don't want to waste time. I'm tired of doing this. And God, He broke me, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
after He broke me, I was like, okay, so this is what I am going to do. And of course, I'm being changed every day because this is something that we never stop growing.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that I had a learning curve at the beginning, and where I am right now, I know that I am in another gap, in another learning curve that if I want to reach to double my business as I did at the beginning, at the first months, I I need to do something different. I need to learn
Right.
more.
Yeah. And you will continue to run into new things
Yeah.
that you're not ready for yet. And you have to invest in yourself and learn,
Yeah.
surround yourself with people, um, who are also on the same journey. And like you said, a bit ahead of you in the journey. It's always great to be the smallest business owner in the room because
Yeah.
then you're surrounded with people who can share
Yeah.
wisdom with you and experiences.
Yes.
And you don't have to necessarily make their mistakes
Yes.
when you have that. Yeah. No, this is such a great lesson of because all of us will run into a moment of
Mhm.
overwhelm and chaos, and we're so tired, we're so
Yes.
exhausted that we can't find our way out, you know?
Exactly.
And, uh, and this is where we need to put up the white flag and say, "I don't know everything." I
Exactly.
and I need to find someone who knows more than I do. So that's a great lesson for all of us. And just that surrender of, whether it's in prayer, or meditation, that we just realize I need to just let go of the control and
Mhm.
follow the lead of, someone else. And
Exactly.
yeah. And so fast forward, here you are today, building your growing business. What does your business look like today? How many team members do you have and how many clients are you serving?
We have currently 11 cleaning technicians, a little over 180 clients,
Nice.
and we have a total of, I guess, let's say 14, 15 people, considering
Total. Yeah, with
employees.
your
Yes.
leadership team. That's great.
Yeah.
And, that is a dream business for a lot of people, but I have a feeling that you're not going to just stop here. So
No.
what
I
what
want
does the
more.
yeah,
There is
what is the
more.
future? There's more. So, what's the future of Not Just Dust? I know you've talked about, how your business exists to um, serve others and
Hmm.
impact the lives of other people. What do you see in your future?
Well, I always tell my employees that I say, well, we are supporting 15 families right now, and this is about us growing. So the more we grow, the more we can bless other families, the more we can bless our clients and our community.
Mhm,
So today I started this business because of the money, but today is not about the money anymore. So it's about serving, it's about giving back to my community through Cleaning for a Reason and through donating. We donate lots of cleaning services for different situations, and this
mhm,
is really touches my heart when I am able to donate cleaning services or to invest in my employees to give them benefits that I was not able to do it in the past. And I want to grow the business, to grow the revenue, open new
mhm.
locations. I'm excited for this, what it's to come.
Yeah. And we were talking a little bit before we started recording about how now that your business is running smoothly because you've implemented systems, you're able to then pursue other passions, right?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's this sometimes I stop and I was like, oh my goodness. We get used to what's comfortable. And it was
Mhm.
not like that in the beginning. So that at the beginning I had to leave my kids, at not with babysitters. So I'm losing I'm bilingual now.
Yeah.
I had to leave them at the
Like
nurseries.
daycare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Daycare. Mhm.
Daycares, yes, daycares, and it was expensive to keep them because I have no family members here since, it's
Mhm.
only us. And the not, but my goal, even when the I had the other business, was always to have a business, to have time for my family, to be there, because this is something my mom did to us, and I see how this was important. So this is something
Mm-hmm.
that I can do now,
Mm,
so it's, and now, because of the systems, because of the process, because I was able to put it in the paper and make it happen, because I see many people complaining, oh no, this doesn't work for me. And then I say, well, it doesn't work because you didn't do what you're supposed to do, because it works for many people, right?
right. Yeah. It's the system and you have to follow it. And if you don't follow it,
Yeah.
it won't work.
And because of that, I'm so thankful to CBF, and to the Camila of many years ago that was able to apply this, because
Mm-hmm.
now I have the freedom. My company runs itself, because I have good employees, and because I have the system, so I don't depend on people as much as I had before, you know
Mm-hmm.
and this is really good. So, but there is a price to pay, right? But yes, now I am really, enjoying this moment, right? So, as I was discussing with you, sharing with you, I lost my father at the beginning of the year.
I'm so
And
sorry.
yeah, I understand that, but I was amazed. And I'm sorry, I'm already getting
That's
emotional,
okay. Yeah.
because I was able for the first time to give time for myself, like to
Mhm.
say to my cleaning technicians, like, I need you, because sometimes we are so strong
Mm.
and we are so used to doing everything by yourself. And then I say, well,
Mhm.
my father passed away. I'm going to Brazil. I don't know when I'm coming back. And I
Mhm.
need you. And they ran the company for 30 days, you know?
What a blessing that you
And
could
it
spend the
was a
time that you needed
blessing.
to be
It
with your
was a
family.
blessing.
Mhm.
Yeah. So if it was maybe at the beginning of my business, maybe I wouldn't have money to buy the ticket. And I say, I cannot go because I cannot leave. So
Right, your
it is
business wouldn't have kept
hard,
running
of
if
course.
you
And
if you stepped away before without systems in place.
exactly, it is hard to apply the system, but it's harder when you don't apply it. So we need to choose
I
our
love
heart,
that. It's
right?
hard to apply the system, but it's harder when you don't.
Yeah,
And
so I'm
yes.
thankful because of that. So I'm just taking this time. I'm not at the time that I'm my, how can I say, strongest moment of building my business, but the business is still growing, and
Mhm.
I'm able to take time to do the things that I want, to heal, and that's what I did not have at the beginning. At the
Mhm.
beginning, I didn't have, so I had to heal while I was working.
Yeah, yeah. And there is going to come a day for all of us.
Yeah.
There's going to be some kind of tragedy or personal tragedy where we won't be able to work at our full capacity. And if we don't have our business systemized, the business will stop running
It
while we're
will.
healing or while we're dealing with whatever that crisis is. And I've had the same experience when my parents passed away. I was able to pull from away from my business and just focus on what I needed to with my family and take time to recover and heal. And we all need that. But
Yeah.
if you don't have your business systemized, you won't have that kind of freedom. So it's a really important piece of it is surrendering to the system has so many
Yeah.
rewards.
It's so
And
powerful.
yeah, well, I love your story. Thank you so much for sharing this.
Thank you.
Very inspiring, and I think it gives hope to a lot of people who are out there and they're trying to figure out how to get to that over 10 cleaning technicians, and they just can't figure it out. And that's because they need help. They need to
Yeah.
reach out and find someone else. And I have to encourage people to do that. So thank you, Camilla, for being
Thank
on True
you.
Grime Stories today. So grateful.
Thank
Um,
you.
and to our audience, I want to invite you, if you would like to know more about getting in touch with a mentor, learning from others, and being part of an amazing community of other cleaning business owners, I encourage you to reach out to me. There's a link in the show notes where you can set up a free call. I'd love to talk with you about your business and how CBF can help you grow. And also, I encourage you to share this episode with your friends who are trying to grow their businesses as well. And be sure and download and subscribe and give us a little review. I'd love that. And come back and see us on our next episode of True Grime Stories. And until then, goodbye and good luck to everyone. Thank you for being here. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
That's a wrap on today's True Grime Stories. Thanks for joining us in uncovering the secrets of cleaning business success. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and download, and check out our show notes for links and info from today's episode, and to learn more about our sponsor, Cleaning Business Fundamentals. Join us next time as we solve another True Grime story.